Hi, everybody. It's Amy Peterson. This is the Motivational Mindset Monday training. Today, we're actually going to go and do something a little bit different. And what we're going to do today is, since we've already gone through half of the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell, we're actually going to go ahead and take a little break and do a little retrospect and see where, the first part, the first half kind of, affects us and in our business. And I have some really awesome ladies on here with me today. So I'm going to draw them in with some questions. So ladies, you are more than welcome to mute. And, if people come on, then we'll definitely, invite them into the conversation as well. So the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell, definitely guys, make sure that you download the free PDF so you can go ahead and see that, or go to your local bookstore or Amazon and go ahead and buy the book or audiobook. The first law, okay, the first law is the law of intentionality, okay? You don't just grow accidentally, all right? And you have to do things with intention. There has to be action behind, everything that we start, but it always starts with that idea. So Alexis and Annie, how would you say the law of intentionality, affects you daily? Like, we know that we have to be intentional and we have to be deliberate in what we do, whether they be our goals, whether they be our, wishes, whether they be our wants or our needs, like anything that we do. If we're hungry, we're going to go get something to eat. So, I'm going to start with Alexis. Alexis, how would you say the law of intentionality kind of, affects you in, let's just say, your business?
I kind of don't get what you're trying to ask.
Okay, so when you in business, okay, with the law of intentionality, you don't just grow accidentally, right? You have to have intention behind what you want to do. You have to be deliberate in what you want to do. What's one of the things, how's this? What's one of the things that you are very deliberate about when it comes to your business? One thing you make sure that you do every single day.
I try keeping up with all the classes. I'm trying to do as many classes as I can to be able to understand and have the full opportunity to help myself grow as a person. And I'm also trying to get better leadership to be able to develop a team and make them grow and things like that. Show them what you guys are showing me so I can be a good leader.
And you know what? That's great. That's absolutely great, because so here's the thing, okay? With what you just said, your intentions are to not only succeed, but to have the knowledge behind that success and also share and reciprocate and grow that knowledge and that success to other people, right?
Yeah, I want to give everyone the opportunity that I'm being given right now because it's life-changing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See, that's great. And that's a great example of the law of intentionality, because you realize that it's not going to be accidental. You have to have the intent to go forward and do these things. You also have to be deliberate in your actions to do everything that needs to be done. So I highly applaud you for that. See, that wasn't so hard, was it?
No, not
I'll
really.
pull you guys out of your comfort zone here too.
Oh yeah, I need to get out of my comfort zone, so I do appreciate it.
No, not a problem at all. Not a problem. And again, that's an amazing answer, and you're totally on point, with that answer. That's a great way, that the law of intentionality really applies to a business. Annie, I'm going to run over to you really quick. How would you say the law of intentionality affects your daily life, your personal life?
Well, I am with Alexis. As you know, I'm always in all the trainings. You see me in the round table and you see me here at the Monday Mindset and all sorts of kind of stuff. So I've been learning, I've been looking to learn as much as I can, but then at the same time, looking for a way that I can actually start implementing what I've been learning, rebuilding my business, as well as learning how to trade and get people and things like that. So I just recently, this weekend, finally printed out the 2-week syllabus. on the
Nice.
fourth affirmation. And I went through and I decided, okay, I wanted to see it took 2 weeks. Why does it take 2 weeks? And I realized, oh, I have to spend at least 1 hour a day for the next 2 weeks to learn Forex. So what I've been doing this weekend is I've been so stuck on organizing. I need to organize. I'm such a mess. So I need to get things organized. So I decided that, yeah, I know it's true. I mean, if you saw my life, it was like somebody's desk that was disorderly or something like that, like a mess. But anyway, that's where I've been deciding, okay, I want to spend so much time on trading, so much time on learning, so much time on building. Whatever I need to do, I need to learn how to focus on that, put that in a schedule and focus on that. So my intention now is to find the blocks of time throughout the day that I need to, where I need to train, where I need to learn, and where I need to build, and then eventually trade. So that's where I'm at right now with my intention.
Okay. Whoops, you got some feedback there. And you know what? One thing I really heard in there too was also, you know, you're talking about the busy desk. Okay. You know that you have to get that in order. And, you know, you said that you have that intent. And I heard the, you know, just the deliberate set in your voice, you know, when you were talking about getting that in order, you know, getting everything structured out, you know, making sure that, you know, you have all the steps, you know, done. And so, you know, the intent and the deliberation are just absolutely perfect in that as well. And it's definitely something that a lot of people are not aware of. They're not aware of the fact that their environment, and, you know, we'll definitely talk about that real quick later on, can affect their action and also their intention when they're moving forward, not only in business but also their personal life. So that was absolutely perfect as well. Perfect answer. And you know, it also breaks down into law number 2, which is the law of awareness. You can't improve yourself if you don't even know who you are, you know. And this is where a lot of people you know, do have issues because the law of awareness says the more that you learn about yourself, the more that you know about yourself, the more you can grow yourself. How much would you agree to that, Annie?
100%. Because my mother always used to say she was always a clean freak. My dad was not. So there was always this conflict in the house. You know, we always had the dining room table cluttered with stuff and nobody knew we had a nice dining room set, you know. But my mom always said, the way you have your house is the way you have your mind, which is true, because your mind is always full of clutter and full of stuff, just like everything around you. And it does, your environment does affect you, because I've noticed that it really affects me because I can't find what I'm looking for. I feel like I have to do this before I do something else, and it distracts me. So that's why now I'm in more of this awareness mode that, oh yeah, I really do have to get organized. I have to get everything together and get everything in a systematic way so that everything flows and I can have whatever I want to achieve in my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to run over to Alexis. Alexis, the law of awareness. Okay, you can't improve if you don't know yourself. How much do you agree to that law?
I definitely agree. I mean, I'm in the awareness right now that I have to be more social and I have to put myself more out there. I have to be able to get out of my comfort zone, and I definitely agree that with Anne that the house has to be like clean, because that is like how your mind is. That is 100% true.
Absolutely. And you know, this is going to sound really, really, really funny, you know, talking about like clean houses and stuff like that. I'm also one of those people, because my little office area is right off of like my bedroom. If I look over and I see my bed is a mess, it bothers me. It's, you know, I'm one of those where I want to make sure that the bed is made. And, you know, and I've said it before, there is a 4-star general who did a commencement speech for a university. And one of the things said, you know, if you want to succeed in life, the first thing you need to do is you need to make your bed. So what do you feel about that one?
Sorry, could you repeat that? My
Okay.
earbud fell out. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So a 4-star general did a commencement speech for a university at graduation. And he said, one of the first things, if you want to be successful in life, one of the first things you need to do is you need to make your bed. What do you think about that comment?
Yes, I do agree with that, because that's how you're supposed to start off your morning. You need to be organized. You need to have a schedule and a routine. So if you succeed by making your bed first off in the morning, then, well, you already started that routine and you're gonna start doing more things. And that's like the first step to cleaning the house, or as it should be.
Exactly. And again, that's part of the law of awareness. You can't improve if you don't know yourself. And one of the first things that we need to do is we need to, like you were saying, we need to be aware that, our surroundings reflect basically what's in our head. If our head is completely jumbled and, everything else, our surroundings, of course, are going to reflect that. So we start with our surroundings, go ahead and clear that. And it really helps us. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to say hello to Jessica. Jessica, hello, welcome. We're doing something a little bit different today. We're kind of having a discussion. If you want to be in the discussion, we are more than welcome to bring you in. It is completely up to you. But we are going over the laws and how they reflect in our life, the laws that we have gone over so far. So then we're actually on law number 3 now, which is the law of the mirror. Oh my gosh, this right here, this is really, really hard, okay? Because a lot of people don't like doing this, all right? And it's to effectively work on yourself, you have to first believe that you're worth the effort. And that means to completely get rid of self-limiting beliefs and developing a very high self-esteem of yourself. Now, one thing I definitely, okay, Jessica, you're totally fine, honey. You can just listen in from work. That's totally fine. One of the hardest things that we see is, especially in network marketing, especially in entrepreneurship and things like that, and I'm going to kind of talk about this one, is we see people who, they seem like they have a high self-esteem, but they're actually egotistical. Have you guys seen that? Let me know in the chat. Have you guys seen, those, you've seen some of the leaders out there, where, it's like they're rocking an amazing self-esteem, but in actuality, their self-esteem is still really low. And it shows in the way they treat people. But when they're, in public or in the public eye or something, they're very they're very egotistical, and it does in fact, show with the law of the mirror. So, when we were little, okay, we heard, different things about how, we could be a ballerina, or we could be an astronaut, or we could be a cowboy, or we could be a doctor, like, and we tell our kids this, for all of those that have children, this is one huge thing, is we sit there and we tell our kids, you can be anything you want to be, and we build up that belief, and that belief in them is actually that what they need. It's actually that self-esteem, okay, where they can sit there and they can walk up to a complete stranger and say, I can be the next president of the United States, and they believe it wholeheartedly, or I can be a princess, okay. But then, adulthood and life comes in the way, right? And those negative limiting beliefs come into play. And, one thing a lot of people don't understand is that our subconscious back here actually rules us. It's not our conscious, it's not our conscious our conscious actions. They're actually ruled by our subconscious, okay? So it's still that little boy, that little girl back there who heard somebody say, you will never be, you are not worthy. Okay, it's all stuck back there. And as we grow and as we've gone through things, you know, unfortunately, it's easier to believe negative over positive. Okay, so with the law of the mirror, it's saying, okay, stop. I have to reprogram. And again, like I said, it's not our conscious, it's our subconscious. So one of the things that I really say to do is go to sleep. Go to sleep. Find positive affirmations while you sleep. Find theta waves, binary theta waves to listen to while you sleep, because what that does is it causes your subconscious to turn into this wonderful sponge. Okay, in developmental psychology, when you're little, before the age of 6, your brain actually child's brain actually functions on theta waves. Okay, it turns the brain into like a sponge where they're learning, and this is where they're most they believe pretty much anything. Okay, like if you tell them they can do anything, they will listen to it. But if they're surrounded by any type of negativity, they're also going to believe that too, and it's going to get stuck in that subconscious. So when you go to sleep with theta waves, it puts you back in that state where your subconscious is like, oh, just give me that information. And then when you follow it up, or you overplay it with the positive affirmations: you are worthy, you are strong, you are beautiful, you are amazing, you're capable, all of that stuff. It literally like just kind of like soaks in there. So it reprograms your mind. And I'm a big hand talker. It reprograms your mind so that you're able to soak that in again. So that when when you wake up in the morning, you'll even notice that change. You'll kind of notice that carriage in yourself, and you'll start really, really bringing in a lot more positive energy, because you're pushing out more positive energy, and you're being more deliberate with your intentions. You're more aware of things. It's really crazy, and it's really awesome how it all kind of works together. So theta waves, positive affirmations while you sleep. Remember that's the law of the mirror. The law of reflection. This is taking time to stop and reflect on yourself and different things you've learned and what you're going to do next. So it's the reflection, it's the thought process, and it's the planning of the next steps. All right, Annie, the law of reflection. Do you take time to reflect and plan your next steps?
Yes, I've been doing that this weekend a lot. I have several businesses that I'm with outside of Epic and Evolution, and I've been trying to find a way to work them slowly, but just a little bit part-time each one, not do everything all at once, because I know they take time to build. So I've been going through all that stuff last night, how long it takes, what I have to do, and I've been looking at my life, and oh my God, I noticed that I don't put that as priority. I put myself as priority because I have lymphedema. So I have to do my leg pumps every morning for an hour and do them every night in the evening.
Mhm.
And it takes time. And I've been trying to go to the doctor to say, well, do I really need these things so I can try and let go of that time? And I work with a physical therapist, and she gave me a method to try and wean myself off it, because I've lost over 100 pounds in less than about 9 months time. So I've lost the weight, and I gained a little weight because of the holidays, and now I'm losing that weight, but I'm looking to lose more weight and get down to my weight goal, which is about another 100 pounds away. And I'm focused and dedicated on that. And I want to see if I can get rid of these pumps and see if I can build myself up in such a way that I don't have to have that occupy my day. So that's what I did last night. I was looking at this business, and I went, oh, I just have to do this a little bit each day. That's not bad. I take the training from the Forex. That's not bad. I learned that. Once I learn that, probably start trading in the Forex market. From there, I go to the binary once I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Then in the meantime, try to look at building, try to look at doing different kinds of things, to do something on the internet. Oh, that's not bad. I don't have to spend so much time on that. So in terms of reflection, I've been looking at the ways that I've been wasting my time throughout the day, how I can cut them, You know, I know his cooking takes a long time, so I tried to get some type of meal delivery service, but I realized that I can't use it because it's too much sodium. So, you know, it's just, that's what I've been doing right now, looking at ways, looking at reflecting and working on ways to make my life more efficient, if that makes any sense. So that's what
Nope.
I'm.
That makes a lot of sense. And that's absolutely true. It's, you know, you should definitely take that time to see where you are wasting time and where you can actually take that time and do something more efficiently, as you said. And that's absolutely perfect. Alexa, or Alexis, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you
You're
can tell I
good.
use Alexa a lot. Um, the law of reflection. How about you? Do you make sure you take that time, or are you starting to implement that time where you take it for yourself and you kind of look at everything, look at where your training is, and then plan where you're going from here?
I can say that last year I probably wasn't the best at reflecting and I did waste a lot of time where it wasn't needed.
Mm-hmm.
But as the new year began, I started getting more in line and starting to get more organized and putting my time where it actually needs to be instead of slacking. So I've actually gained a few hours where I can start doing a lot more than where I was actually able to because I started using my time more wisely.
That's awesome. And it's amazing how, you know, when we sit back and we look at, you know, where our time is gone, it's amazing how much time we can pick up. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I feel like I could have a little bit more time on my hands where I can get caught up better so I can attend more classes. I'm hoping that hopefully once I get caught up on everything and get everything going, maybe attempting the honors classes
Uh-huh.
so that I can get the full experience of what you guys have to offer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, one other thing, you know, I would throw in there, Alexis, is, you know, also make sure you're taking time for yourself.
I do a little bit of painting here and there to help me relax and get a new mindset. That's how I kind of take a little bit of me time,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm trying to catch up on the rest.
Absolutely. So there's a reason why, and there's a reason why I say that too. You know, we were talking about the cluttered room, cluttered mind, that sort of stuff, right? Well, you know, also when I was talking about the brain being a sponge, if you take a sponge and you put it into a bowl of water, okay, what happens to that sponge, Alexis? What
It
happens to the
soaks
sponge?
up all the water.
Huh? Can it
It
soak up any more water?
No, it reaches its capacity.
Exactly. So what we need to do, okay, is we need to take our sponge, aka our brain, out of the information pool for a little bit and wring the sponge out. Now, the sponge is no longer dry, it's still wet, right?
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is we retain the knowledge that we need to have, okay? Any excess or useless knowledge actually goes to where I said before, which is the subconscious. We may think it's useless, but it might actually be something we're going to use later, okay? But we let our brain sort that out, okay? And in order to get that ringed out process is we need to step away for a minute. We need to go and breathe for a minute. Take a nap, meditate, paint, like you were saying. You know, it helps us get our minds and our thoughts in order, okay? And that right there is huge because then we can also, excuse me, then we can also go ahead and soak in more knowledge, right? Like just like you know, you've wrung out the sponge, it's still wet, so it's retaining things, but now you can put it back into a bowl of another water and get more knowledge, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's definitely one thing I want you to focus on too, is make sure you plan, okay? You schedule in some me time. Annie, I'm telling you that too. Jessica, I'm telling you that as well. Make sure you guys set that me time because it's not just self-indulging, okay? It's not being selfish to where you're not doing anything. Actually, you're doing something very good, which is you're giving your brain a chance to catch up, okay? Because it can't take any more in. You know, just like if you're in a situation, all right, and there's just so much going on around you, do you ever kind of like have a little panic moment where you're just like, oh, I can't do this anymore? Do you ever kind of have that feeling?
Yes, I do, because I get overwhelmed because I have so many tasks going on in my brain at once.
Exactly. Exactly. And the reason why is your brain is now that sponge in that water bowl and it's sucked up all this stuff, but somebody is still pouring a garden hose on top of you. I can't do anymore. I can't soak in anymore. It's just like, oh my God, I just can't do it anymore. So what you need to do is you need to shut the garden hose off. Okay. You need to take the sponge out of the bowl and go wring that sucker out. And the only way to do that is actually kind of just, I mean, and like I say, even if it's just going in your closet for like 10 minutes and just taking some deep breaths, sit there and just say to yourself, I've got this. I've got this. I've got this while you're breathing. Okay. Breathing is really, really good. Um, if it's taking that, that extra 30 minutes that you've managed to find and just meditate, if it's telling somebody in the office, dude, I got to go have a bathroom break, and you were like gone for like 20 minutes, dude, lock yourself in the stall. Okay. Like walk outside, do something, if you're at home, if you've got kiddos, I understand, I've definitely been there as a stay-at-home single mom, just give them a snack, throw on the TV. And even if you don't like them watching TV, give them a snack, throw them in front of the TV and be like, I will be right back. And don't worry about them. Okay. Kids are going to be kids. They're going to go off and do something crazy. As long as doors are locked and they're not jumping off balconies, we are good to go. But, just go, just go and just sit on the edge of the tub, and just kind of, breathe, just breathe. Because you have to take yourself out of that overwhelming situation and bring yourself kind of back into focus, back into alignment, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to do anything productive, in all honesty. And not to mention, we also, as women, there's only women on here, we're very emotional creatures. So what happens when we can't take anything else in? We get snippy. We start crying, we start getting pissed. I mean, like, honestly, it's true. And it's non-conducive, it's non-productive. So ladies, I will tell you right now, make sure you take 10 minutes a day to bring yourself kind of back into alignment and remind yourself you're amazing, you're wonderful, you've got this. Okay. So and with that, there's also the law of consistency. Okay. You like how we're just like jumping straight through. So we go from reflection to consistency. So we need to remember that what will really make you grow in the long run is going to be consistent. So, one thing, like I said, is schedule that time, Alexis, schedule that time and really be consistent. And it's starting small, but it can be huge in everything you do. Okay. Alexis, Annie, Jessica, I don't know. Are you team building as well, Jessica? You can put it in the chat, honey, because I know you're at work. But if you're team building, I will tell you this right now, consistently planning that 10 minutes to yourself can be all the difference in the world. Because when you start having 100, 200, 300, thousands of people jumping into your inbox, doing this, doing that, asking questions, doing this, doing that, trust me when I say yourself, as your brain is a sponge, overflows quickly. Okay. And it's no longer a garden hose, it's like a fireman hose. Okay. Is filling that bowl up. So you would like to, but it's still, yes, you're in information overload right now. Okay, Jessica. And again, all right, wring the sponge out. Okay, give yourself time. And all three of you, when you get on a training, okay, take that reflection in. Okay, so 5-10 minutes after a training, go over your notes, shut your phone off, shut the computer off, don't jump into another training. Take 10-15 minutes and just kind of go over your notes, skim over them, don't like dive into them. Okay, because your brain is already like, oh, from all the information. Okay, don't freak it out even more. Okay, but kind of wring the sponge out a little bit. Okay, and just skim over the notes. Go, okay, So law of consistency, calendar, and try and let your brain pick out simple solutions. Okay. You know how we say things are actually simple, but humans tend to overcomplicate it? Facts. Okay. Because we sit there and for some odd reason, we sit there and say it can't be that easy. When in actuality, it is. But we make it harder. We argue within ourselves and consistently allowing ourselves to woo-saw a minute, okay, and take the training in. And like I said, take 10, 15 minutes of just that quiet and then walk away from it. Walk away from it. I'm serious. Walk away from it. Do something else. Don't do another training because then, you know, your brain, it's not done ringing out yet. Walk away. Walk away. Go do dishes. Go walk your dog. Go take a run. Go something. Okay. Walk away. Why? Because it's going to allow your brain to put one and one together to make that two, to make that full thought process. It's your brain, okay, is that little dog with the itty bitty legs, my dog pretty much, trying to catch up to a freaking horse, okay, which is the information. And the only way your brain is going to catch up to that horse is if you slow the horse down, okay, meaning stop the information from coming in for a little bit, okay, and let your brain catch up. How do you do that? You walk away. Walk away for a little bit. It's not going to kill you. I swear it will not kill you. But if you keep your brain at a point where it's able to soak in the information and then process what it needs, guys, you are going to excel so much more. But you have to be consistent in doing that, okay? And it takes a lot of introspective looking. It takes a lot of reflecting. It takes a lot of, you know, looking in the mirror and being aware of things, you know, and having that intention. Now, here's this huge one, guys, the law of the environment. And we've already talked about this. We have already talked about this law. This is law number 6. We've already talked about this. You know, the people and environment around you really, really affect who you are, what you do, how you focus, how you process, okay? And you've got, and I'm so serious with this, guys. Please make sure that the people around you and the environment around you is not pulling you down. All right, if your house is cluttered, clean it up. People who are depressed tend to live in an extremely cluttered house. Okay, so clean it up. All right, and you're going to notice your mood lifts. If you've ever watched the movie Hoarders, or the TV show Hoarders, people's mood just becomes so amazing when their house is clean because all that clutter is gone. Okay, and then people, you know, for people who, if somebody is bringing you down, you know, you really need to ask, why are they in your life? Why are you allowing them to do that? Have you stood up to them and told them, no more? I'm not going to be treated like this. You have to have that intention to, you know, really move forward. And if you're very deliberate about it, then people who can't function and can't understand your wave of thought, they tend to back out of your life. Okay. Finally, we're going to look at, you know, the law of design. Okay. You have to look at self-growth seriously. Okay. You have to be very deliberate in the intention of, you know, moving forward with changing your mindset, because you change your mindset, you change your life. It's a bottom line. You change your mindset, you change your life. Okay. If you want to lose weight, you have to change here before anything else changes. Okay. You know, motivation makes you start, but discipline keeps you going. And in order to do that, this has to change. This part, the stinking thinking, has got to just go, okay? No one plans in planning to fail. Remember that. No one plans in planning to fail. Okay? No one means to fail. All right? But you have to set a plan to succeed. And when you come in, you're motivated to do it, you want to do it, you're excited. But what keeps you going? Everything that we've talked about so far has to change. Okay? It has to evolve in order for success to come in. So, you know, guys, get out there, have your intent, okay? Be deliberate about your intention, okay? You want to clean your house, clean your freaking house. You want to go get something to eat, go get something to eat. Be deliberate, do it, okay? Make sure it's legal, though. Just gonna throw that out there. Take a look at yourself, you know, take an introspective look at yourself and, you know, see what things need to kind of change in there. Plan some time for yourself, be consistent about it, be deliberate about it, and, you know, just know that you are worthy. You're amazing. You're created for amazing things. All you have to do is see that in yourself and push yourself through. Push yourself through the hardest times, and I guarantee you there will be hard times. But I also guarantee you that the reward will be amazing if you just push through. So guys, that is our time for today. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. Alexis, Annie, and Jessica, you guys have an amazing and intentional day and an intentional week filled with amazing success. You guys know you can reach out to me anytime you want. And that is the end of our webinar. Bye, everybody. Have an amazing day. And thank you, ladies, so much for jumping in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Everybody have a great day. Thanks, Amy.
You too. Everyone have a good one.
All right. Bye, Alexis.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Jessica.